right, so this specific video is over multiplying decimals. We are going to talk a little bit about how that's different from adding decimals. So when you add decimals, you'll see people make a T-chart and they'll put their decimals, here and line them up, and then your decimal just comes down in your answer. With multiplying, that's really not how we operate. So what we do with multiplying, you're going to see a lot of people, they'll say count them up. So that's kind of our phrase. So we're going to do the multiplication like normal, and then we're going to count up the decimals in the answer. So for example, we have 334 thousandths times 23 hundredths. So it's almost like we're multiplying 334 times 23. We're not going to worry about the decimals until the very end. So let's do some multiplication. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. We carry that over. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So what I like to do, and that's just my personal opinion, I move over one space. That tells me I need one placeholder down here. So mark these guys out. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. And then I'm going to add so I can get my answer. So I get 2, 8, 6, and 7. And then what I do in the problem, earlier we said our strategy was going to be count them up. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to count the digits behind the decimal in the problem. So I can actually do it from the very beginning if I wanted to. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I'm going to move my decimal 5 spaces. So I'm going to start back here in my answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in this specific case, there's nothing right here, which would tell me that I need a placeholder for in that spot. So my final answer would look something like this for this specific question. Again, I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the number of digits behind the decimal, and that's why I moved it 5 spaces specifically. Okay, so let's try the second one. So 12 and 3/10 and 45 hundredths. Again, you'll notice my decimal is not lined up, so they're not right underneath each other. That's not what we do when we're multiplying. That's only what we're going to do when we add and subtract. So let's multiply these like normal. So 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. And then I'm going to switch colors here, and we'll move over one place value because we have one place that we've multiplied. So 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and 4 times 1 is 4. So we add, we get 5, 1 plus 2 is 3, 9 plus 6 is 15, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So in this case, you can probably already see, we're going to go over here to our problem. There was 1, 2, 3 numbers behind the decimal in the problem. Now notice, it's not just one of the numbers that you're looking at. You're looking at both numbers. How many digits were behind the decimal in both numbers? Well, in this specific case, there were 3. So I start at the back. 1, 2, 3. So my answer would be 5 and 535 thousandths. Again, we're not just bringing our decimal down here in the answer. We're actually moving it the number that we counted. So last example, 27 times 42 hundredths. Okay, 2 times 7 is going to give me 14. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I moved over, so I need one placeholder because I've multiplied by one of the digits. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So again, adding them up. 4, 8 plus 5 is 13, 1, and 1. So you can probably already guess that we're going to move our decimal 2 spaces in my answer because there's 2 digits behind the decimal. So 11 and 34 hundredths would be the final answer here. Again, your main thing to remember when you are multiplying decimals is to count them up.